everyone. In this video, we're going to learn how to render our plans from AutoCAD and Photoshop. In this video, I'm using AutoCAD Architecture 2013 and Photoshop CS6. First of all, I'll show you how to use Photoshop, like the basics of Photoshop. First, let's look at this toolbar right here. File, of course, and every program have to bring out the files we want, opening them or starting a new file. Then edit. This will come later if you wanted to edit the images. For example, if we wanted to rotate, undo, or copy or anything, we can use this bar. Image is to control the sizes and quality of the image, because in Photoshop eventually we're going to produce an image. Layers. This whole layer bar, we can use it in a small window right here. You can see it. This is it. And you won't need the rest except for window. If you don't have the windows right here, you can find them in window and bring them to this side. First of all, I'm going to show you some basics you need to know about Photoshop. If you're familiar with the program, you can skip this part to the rendering. First, let's just start a new file, just for an example. Here you can name your file, choose the paper size, the window size, the resolution, and everything, the settings you need to adjust. For example, for the resolution, if you're working on a banner, you'll need like at least 100 resolution, and you're going to end up with a huge image size. For example, the resolution here is 30, the image size is 25.7. But if we changed it to 100, it will be like a lot bigger, 286. But now it's just an example, so we're just using 30. If the resolution depends on the size of paper you want to print. The bigger it is, the higher resolution should be. Okay, then color mode. Okay, 3 background contents that you need to know about: white, background color that you'll choose, and transparent. We usually work in transparent, so we can choose the background we want. Okay, so here we go. First of all, 3 windows that I need to work on. It's comfortable for me to have the navigator right here, then the history bar and the layer bar. I don't need this one, so I can remove it. If you wanted any of these and you don't have them, you can click window right here and choose. This one is called the navigator, and this one is history, this one, and the layer bar is always there, but you can choose it as well from here. Okay, so first thing you need to know is the layers. You can let's bring them to the front. You can choose as many layers as you want. The more you're working, you'll add new layers and delete some, and it's the same technique in AutoCAD, the layers in AutoCAD. So these are the 2 you'll need to work with. This is for a new layer, and this is to delete a layer. If you want to duplicate a layer, you can move it to the new layer and you'll get a copy of the same layer. Okay, so this is the first thing. The history bar is obvious. It's like undoing and redoing what you did, but you only get a limited amount of going back. And the navigator, of course, this is not clear unless we do something. It's to zoom in and out and to move around your working space. Okay. Okay, another thing you need to know is the tools. The tools right here are very important. These are the things you'll be working with the whole time. There are keyboard shortcuts to them, but if you're a beginner, just use them right away. Okay, so now we're going to start rendering. I've prepared the plan here from AutoCAD, considering scale, of course. So I'm just going to drag it here. Okay, this is important. The resolution is most important, of course, because if you want to print, as I said before, bigger banners or bigger posters need bigger resolution. So I'm not going to use a high resolution right now because this is just a video and I don't want to just work on something very big right now. So just okay. So now, as you can see, let's zoom in and just look at the lines. The lines are a bit blurry, and that's because of the resolution. So I made a mistake. So now I'm going to close it and reopen it. Okay, let's choose 100. Let's see now, zoom in, and I'm not sure if there's a difference, but it's a little bit clearer than okay. So now what we need to do is okay, so now what we need to do is fill the walls with a different color. So this is what we're going to do. First, copy the same layer of the plan. Let's call it plan. Plan, copy. Okay, and let's add a background. White, of course. Press on the bucket and click anywhere. So now the plan is clear. See, this is the effect of copying the plan. It gives it more intensity. Okay, so now we're going to use the magic wand to select the walls. Zoom in and make sure to select all the walls. Oh, this is another thing. Here you have 4 choices of selecting. This one is to select only one object. So if I click here, the other will disappear. And this is like additive. It adds the selecting together. And this one to remove something. For example, now by clicking on those, for example, I clicked here by mistake and it selected all of this. Now I want to remove it, so I'll click this one to select one part only and I'll deselect it. And that's what you'll need to work with for now. Okay, so click on the additive icon and start just select all the walls. And then move to a new layer. Make sure to keep the copy of the plan always on top and just work between it and between the plan, the original plan. Okay, so new layer, which will be in between as we said, and let's call it walls. Now let's choose black and fill the walls with black. Then click Control and deselect. So now we colored the walls black. What we're going to do now is we want to cast a shadow from the walls to give depth to the plan, and then we're going to color the ground surfaces. So this is basically the rendering we're going to do. Later we can add landscaping or anything, but it's simply the same procedure. We're just going to cast shadow and we're going to add patterns or colors to the ground. And this plan, it's just a very simple plan. Let's assume it's a house and this is the stairs leading to the entrance. Let's assume that this is a foyer and a living room, and these are 2 bedrooms. This is a kitchen and 2 bathrooms. It's not a real plan, of course, so let's just do anything simple. Okay, so after coloring the walls, we can add a shadow by simply double clicking on the walls layer and getting this layer style window. You can add drop shadow and you'll get it just the same way. You can change some settings here to make it different, anything you want. No, only drop shadow, and you can change the color of the shadow, the opacity, the angle depending on the sun direction, and just anything. But this is not the architectural way of rendering or casting shadows. So I'm just going to undo this and I'm going to show you another I'm going to remove it and I'm going to show you the architectural way. To do the architectural way, it's also, this one is easier, but the architectural way is easy as well. Just drag, as you can see, drag the walls layer to the new layer icon and you'll get a copy. Okay, so now we're going to work on the copy. Okay, zoom in and just focus on one place. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move the copy layer and make sure to not just move it freely. Let's undo this. We want to move it as a shadow, so we want to move it to a degree of 45. Click shift on your keyboard to make sure you're moving it diagonally. See, whatever I'm moving, I'm just moving diagonally because I clicked shift on my keyboard. Okay, and just move it. Let's rename them to shadow, walls, shadow. Okay. Okay, so I removed all the layers from visibility and let just the wall shadow appear. So now we can see the mistakes of selecting, which are the doors and this line. So we'll just click on the eraser, change the size, and just erase them. You just have to be precise a little bit. Okay, these lines won't matter, just to move the doors. These outer lines. If you took the plan from AutoCAD with the walls hatched to solid hatching to a solid black color, it will be much more easier. Okay, so I've selected all the mistakes, and now I'm just going to click on my keyboard, delete, and then deselect. So yeah, now I only have the walls. Now I can work correctly. Okay, click the moving tool, Control Alt Shift, Control Alt, click on the wall and then Shift to move it. One more time. Then click Control on the layer to select. Again, it copied that layer. Must I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so click Control Alt Shift. Okay, now it's working. And again, this is wrong. 45 degrees, make sure of that. My plan is pretty much small, so I don't have to do this a lot. But if you have like a huge plan, or not necessarily huge, so I click Control and on the layer to select all of what I've done, and again Control Alt Shift, and okay, and then deselect. I guess this is enough for a small plan. Okay, so now we don't want it to show this way. So what we're going to do is on the layer bar, we have opacity here and fill. So I'm just going to change the opacity of the color and maybe the fill. And then I'm going to bring everything back. So as you can see, we've given the plan a little bit of depth. Let's make it a little bit. Okay, this is enough. If you want your walls to be white or any other color, you can just double click and do anything you want from here. For example, color overlay, and click on it here and choose whatever color you want. But for now, I'm choosing just the black as it was. Right. Okay. So this is the first step. We've completed the first step, which is casting shadows from the walls. Next, we're going to want to select each room and giving the floor a pattern. In our example here, as we said, let's consider this a kitchen and this is a living room. So for example, I'm going to select a wooden pattern for the ground of the living room. So I'm going to choose plan, the first one, and we're going to select. You can either choose the magic wand, but as you can see, when I click on the magic wand, there are open spaces here that will make it select areas that we do not want it to be selected. We can choose the deselect button over here and then deselecting with the rectangle the areas we don't want. Oh, this one. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this area is going to have a pattern of a wooden pattern. So what we're going to do is, after the shadows, or no, before the shadows, make sure that the copy of the plan and the wall shadows and the walls are always on top. So, or not need the walls to be on top, so it's okay. So right here, we're going to write living room. And then double click on living room, choose pattern overlay, and select the pattern you want. From where can we get the patterns? I'll show you now. The patterns, you can get them from the internet. For example, you can choose whatever you want from the internet, save it as an image. For now, I already collected some. Here, Photoshop textures. Okay, so for example, let's choose this oak. Okay, move on. Okay, move the pattern to Photoshop. Can be any image from the internet. And now you're working on another window. This is not your plan you were working on. This is the plan, and this is the pattern. Okay, so double click. If it's locked, double click on it and then click OK. So now we're fine. Okay, and then click edit. Edit, define pattern. You can name it whatever you want, and then it's defined as a pattern. But we don't want the whole thing to be a pattern because there are some text over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select an area, then click edit, define pattern. So we're only getting the area we selected. Call it good. Okay, or we can just crop it and take it. So let's close this. No. Okay, let's open the plan again. Okay. So as I said, click on the living room, double click, pattern overlay, and then you'll find the pattern we created here. So click on it. Okay. We have to fill it with a color first or something. Okay. So we chose the pattern and then we filled it with it. And then you can click deselect. So now this is simply how you render in Photoshop. The rest is the same. Oh, and by the way, you can add an inner shadow or an inner glow, however you want. You can see here. However you please, or maybe like this is an inner shadow and this is an inner glow. To make it more realistic. It depends on you, whatever you want. And then okay, so we're done with this. You can add text as well. Let's call this living room. Of course, the architectural way is by capitalizing the letters, so caps lock. You can change the font, the size, or anything. But for now, let's just use this one. Okay, so this is the first thing we've done, and the rest will be the same. So for the kitchen, let's add patterns, as we said before. No. Let's use this for the kitchen for now, or maybe this one. Now let's just use this. This is my mistake. Okay, this is just to complete, so we can just, without selecting, define pattern. Let's call it kitchen, and then go back to our plan. Select the plan layer, and then the magic wand. Again, the magic wand selected a lot, so we're going to deselect using this tool. Okay, so after the living room, a new layer, kitchen, double click, pattern overlay, choose the pattern, choose kitchen. Okay, and then fill. Done. Then Control D to deselect. Again, as we said, you can hear the, instead of double clicking, you can also right click and choose blending options. Okay, this is just for your information. Okay, drop shadow. Oh, sorry. Inner shadow. Choose anything. Okay, maybe no need. Okay. And then again, text. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's say that we want the bedrooms to have the same pattern as the living room. Let's just go back to the living room layer. Select. Sorry. Let's go back to the plan. Select the bedrooms. Okay, deselect again. Click on the additive, this one, and we don't want the doors area, so again deselect the door area, because this is the door leading to the bathroom. Okay, and we want to add these doors area, so click again on the additive and add the doors areas. Okay, so we're done, and this is we were on the layer of plan just for selecting. So now go to the living room layer and just click filling bucket and deselect. So now we have them all, and another layer for bedrooms, text, and you can copy the layer and move it. Okay, so now the only thing left is the bathrooms. Okay, so again, we're going to choose a layer, Let's choose this one. Edit, define pattern. Then let's go to the plan. Select the bathrooms areas. Oh, additive. Okay. Okay. And then after the bedrooms, we're going to have a new layer called bathrooms. Double click, pattern overlay, choose the pattern we just made, click OK, and then paint bucket and fill them. You can see that the scale is pretty much big over here. Deselect. So just double click on the same layer, go to pattern overlay, and you can adjust the scale over here. So for example, let's use this one and OK. And you can add the blending options of shadows and everything. If you had furniture, you can, for example, carpets, tables, chairs, and everything, you can be pretty much creative on the patterns you're choosing. For example, if you had a refrigerator, you can use steel for or not necessarily the same material, just anything that looks the same. For example, when I render plans, I use this for machines, and like fabric for the chairs, white fabric for bed sheets, and just anything. You can be pretty much creative. And see this one, for example, for a carpet or something. And let's see again. Let's assume that this is the site over here and we want some green areas. For now, I don't have a defined site with roads or anything, but let's just make a new layer. And now we don't have a plan or anything, so I'll just select the whole area outside. See, it's everything outside the house. And then a new layer, let's call it grass. Sorry, let's bring the grass pattern over here. And then we're going to select an area for defining it as a pattern. Define pattern, grass. Okay, let's close this window, we don't need it anymore, and open the plan again. Okay, so double click on the grass layer, pattern overlay, just the new pattern we made, and click OK. Then the paint buckets. So this is it. And okay, so this is a porch right here. So we might need white wood. I think I have a pattern here. Nope. So we're just going to the internet. Okay, so let's use this. Oh no, it's diagonal. Let's use this one. Okay, so we're done saving. Edit, define pattern. Okay, and then we'll close this one. By the way, I made a huge mistake by not saving this file. So make sure you always save this file. I'm not in a hurry or anything, so I'm not really interested in saving. Okay, so again, we're going to go back to plan. By now, you should have memorized this procedure. We'll go back to plan, we select whatever we want, and we deselect whatever we want. And then we choose a pattern. If you don't have it, we go to the internet, get a picture, and then define the pattern. And then we just apply the pattern on the new layer that we selected. Okay, put the stairs, of course. Okay, so we go back anywhere, just click a new layer, like porch, double click, pattern overlay, choose the pattern we just defined, and paint bucket, fill, done. Okay, again, the scale is very huge. So, as we said, go back and just adjust the layer. Okay, done. So this is the basic idea of how to render a plan. Again, I'm going to repeat what I've said. This video showed you is first you've learned how to cast shadows from the walls the architectural way and the easy way, and then just defining patterns and applying them to your plan. You can be creative as much as you want. You can also, for example, I want to cast shadow here, but I'm in a hurry and I don't want to do any architectural way or anything. So I'm just going to make a new layer. And if this doesn't work, I'm just simply going to delete it, so it's no big deal. And I'm going to follow the edges of the house. Just to make the building pop out a little bit. And This is too big. Okay, and then move the layer to the bottom. But okay, and just change the opacity. Oh, wrong, not the grass. This one. Okay, change the opacity or the filling or anything. A little bit darker. So this is it. It worked. So I'm fine with that. If it didn't work, you can just delete the layer. So see, there's a little bit of difference. If you wanted to add landscape, architectural landscaping, you can just get anything from the internet, like a bird eye view of a tree or something. Just place it here. Let's try. Okay, so here's a lot of images. These are the best. Okay, let's just save the image. Okay, the same procedure. We're going to drag it to the Photoshop. Okay, we're going to drag it, and then let's select one of them at least. First, let's right-click on the eraser and choose Magic Eraser tool. It's like deleting all the same color, so just like that. Zoom in, and you'll find like some details you need to erase. You'll need to find better resolution pictures with higher quality, of course, because you don't want your plan to look very clear with like poor quality of landscaping or anything. So just make sure you're choosing the right images. For now, I'm just using examples. I'm not going to print this or do anything with it. Okay, done. You can choose whatever you want. For example, I'm going to use this one now. I selected the area, and then click on the crop tool. You can crop the whole image, or you can just click on the slice tool, one single click, and then you can just move it along. Okay, this way. See, this is not working, so I'm just going to remove it. Let's choose something without a shadow, or we can just deselect the shadow. Let's choose this. You can edit the shadows, of course, and do whatever you want. But for now, let's just do this. Add it here. You can change the from here, normal. You can just change the color of it or the effect of it with the plan, anything, just go around and choose the best one. I'm very picky. Okay, so this one, and we can right click, drop shadow. See, click on drop shadow, and you can choose the angle of the shadow. You can make this the same angle of the shadows on the plans. So basically you can do anything you want. This is just an example, and this is it. I hope you learned something from the video. Now I'm just going to make this brief of what we learned. First, casting shadows using the tools, or the blending options, or the architectural way, which is copying the walls and multiplying them and then just changing the opacity. And then we learned to define patterns of landscaping, materials and grounds and everything, and just applying them to the right spaces and adding texts. So this is the simple way, and it's pretty much easy. You just need to learn a little bit about the basics of Photoshop if you don't know about them. But it's very easy. Photoshop can make you do anything you want. Just one thing you need to know about saving. Save as will save for you the Photoshop version, so you can always go back and play with the layers and adjust whatever you want. And save for web and devices is the saving option, which will turn your whole work into just one picture or PDF or whatever version you choose, but it's just like the outcome of your work instead of save as, which, as I said, is your work, which you can adjust. So I prefer saving both. First of all, save as, because you can always go back and save for web, but once you saved for web and devices, you can never edit what you did. And just that. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.